everyone. I see that some of you are on already. Yay. So wonderful to be here with you and to practice. Almost through the work week. I guess that means that's assuming that you have a normal, so that your job still looks normal. That you don't work on the weekends. Okay, I'm getting my framing in, so bear with me. But in the meantime, while I do work on getting everything set up, you grab 2 blocks if you have them. It would be really useful for your practice today. And I would love to know who's here in the little chat box over here. If you would like, then I would love to hear from you. Type your name, where you're from, and a fun fact about you. Okay. Hi, Claudia and Carolina. So wonderful to be here with you. Good to have you. Would love to know who else is here. So there's a chat box right over there. Please let me know your name, where you're from perhaps, maybe a fun fact about you, or something fun that you did this last week. Oh wow, from South Africa. How do you pronounce that? So tell me if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Hema? Or is it Hema? Claudia, unbelievably hot. Oh my gosh, okay. Carolina from Brazil, awesome. So cool that we can connect with each other here in this way, from so far away. And yet, all together in time. Nice to meet you, Carolina. And Claudia, you're in Italy, correct? We'll spend a couple more minutes checking in, and then we'll get started. I always start a little bit after the official start time to ensure that we do have time to do a little bit of this, and to ensure that everybody does get into class who wants to go. The second pronunciation is correct. Awesome, Hema. Thank you for letting me know. And it's wonderful to meet you. So we have another minute. Those of you who haven't checked in, I would love to hear from you. Tell me your name, where you're from, and maybe you can even share your favorite yoga pose. Just FYI, a couple blocks would be really helpful for practice today. We'll be working on some hip openers and maybe some associated poses with that. So side plank variations will show up, and perhaps some other variations too. You're welcome, Hema. All right, all. Well, I would love to keep on chatting through the chat box, through my voice, through the chat box. Raquel, yay! Good to have you. But we better get started. We have a lot to do, and we have a limited amount of time. So I'm going to go to my mat, you go to yours, and we'll get rolling. Take a comfortable seated position. So it's a 45-minute practice with a focus on some hip openers today. Rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. Begin with 3 rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale deeply to prepare. Exhale, empty out completely. Create a light tone at the back of your throat. Tone and lift your pelvic floor. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, join your palms together at the center of your chest. Exhale, empty out completely. And inhale for 1 Om. And gently blink your eyes open. Lower your hands down to your thighs and come into downward facing dog. You can introduce some movement into your body on your way there, or come into the pose and be still right away. And allow yourself to approach this first shape in exactly the manner that your body is calling for, which might be different than yesterday, which certainly will be different than tomorrow and the next day. And if you opted to move a little bit, make your body still, spread your fingers wide, lengthen all the way from your outer wrists into your outer hips. Okay. Inhale, shift forward to plank, stack your shoulders over your wrists. And exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale, Adho Mukha. And one more time, inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, place your right foot all the way up between your hands. Stay low for this first piece. Move your right hand to the inner edge of your right foot and plant your palms flat. You might stay right here or lower your forearms down to the floor or onto a block if you have one handy. Hug your inner right thigh in toward the right side of your torso. And even hug your inner thighs in to strengthen your legs, which might actually lift your hips a little bit. Couple more breaths here. Working hip extension, stretching through the back leg, hip flexion, stretching for the front leg. Okay, walk back up to your palms and move your block out of the way if you have it. Move your right hand back to the outer edge of your right foot. Hug your inner thighs in. Yeah, and come up into Crescent Lunge. That's so easy after all that. Exhale, sink down into your legs. Yeah, man. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, stretch up. Bring your fingertips back down to the floor. Heel toe your right foot to the left edge of your mat. Open up your right shin, coming into Pigeon Prep. Now, number one priority is to get your hips square to the floor. So you may narrow the angle of the front shin, front leg as much as needed. Make sure your right knee is slightly outside your right hip. So it's not pointing straight forward, slightly outside. And then point your left foot, fold down over your right shin. Take a few breaths here, starting to get into the front hip in external rotation. Take one more breath where you are. And walk back up to your palms, plant them firmly. Step back to downward facing dog. And stretch that out. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Point your feet. Inhale, curl your chest up, Cobra Bhujangasana. And exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. One more time. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, place your left foot all the way up between your hands. And stay low. Move your left hand to the inner edge of your left foot. Plant your palms flat. You may stay right here, or you can lower your forearms down to the floor, or if you have a block, move your forearms down to a block. It's kind of the midway point between forearms to the floor and hands flat on the floor. And hug your inner left thigh in toward the left side of your torso. Hug your inner thighs in, which might actually lift your hips a little bit, but it'll ensure that you're keeping all the muscular structures that surround the hip joints a little bit engaged. Makes for a safer stretch, more effective stretch, and as we know from the first side, you're going to need that engagement to come up into Crescent Lunge in a moment. One more breath. And walk back up to your palms. If you have a block, move it out of the way. Move your left hand to the outer edge of your left foot. Okay, make any adjustments necessary. Hug your inner thighs in, strengthen your legs, and come up into Crescent Lunge. Just notice the difference in coming up into this pose after having been in that forward bend for a while. It's quite a bit more difficult. And bring your fingertips down by the sides of your left foot. You'll toe your left foot to the right edge of your mat, and then open up your shin, bringing your left hip into external rotation. And again, in Pigeon Prep, the most important thing is to keep your hips square to the floor, which might mean that you need to narrow the angle on the front leg, which is great. Make sure your left knee is slightly outside your left foot. If it's still really difficult, guess what? You can actually place a block underneath your left hip. Once you're set up, point your right foot, fold down over your left shin, and take a few breaths. Okay, one more breath here. And walk back up to your palms. Step back to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide. Lengthen from your outer wrists all the way up into your outer hips. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Point your feet. Inhale, curl your chest up, Cobra Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. One more time, inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, one more thing. Before we move on, bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Look up towards your hands and shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists. So not quite plank. You want a slight sloping back with your arms, and your hips will be slightly elevated. Keep pressing down through both hands. Then spin to the outer edge of your right foot, stack your left foot on top, twisting through the lower part of your body. Press down more firmly with your right hand. You might keep both hands on the floor for now. Or if you're ready for side plank, Vashisthasana, press down and forward more with your right hand. Turn your chest open, stretch your left arm up. And keep on sliding your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe even look up. Good. Bring your left hand back down to the floor and come into downward facing dog. Take another breath. Second side, bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists, slightly sloping back. And spin to the outer edge of your left foot, stack your right foot on top, twisting the lower part of your body. torso, hips, legs. Press down more firmly with your left hand. You might stay here, or if you're ready for Vashisthasana, press down and forward with your left hand. Turn your chest open. Stretch your right arm up. And maybe look up. And bring your right hand all the way back down. And come into downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, join your palms, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, lower your arms down by your sides, stand tall, Tadasana. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head, reach up. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, curl your chest up, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Then bring your feet and legs all the way together again, just like we did a moment ago. All right, then shift forward so that your shoulders are just behind your wrists. Spin to the outer edge of your right foot, stack your left foot on top. Either keep both hands down here or press down and forward with your right hand, stretch your left arm up. Now this time around, if you want to make it easier, you can place the sole of your left foot in front of your right shin. If you want to make it harder, lift your left foot off of your right a little bit, creating some space between your feet. And stack up again. Bring your left hand down to the floor, either straight to down dog or vinyasa to downward facing dog, your choice. Okay, second side, bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists. Spin to the outer edge of your left foot, stack your right foot on top. Either keep both hands down or press down and forward with your left hand, stretch your right arm up. If you want to make this a little bit more manageable, place the sole of your right foot in front of your left shin. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, lift your right foot off of your left, creating some space between your legs, your feet. And stack up again. Bring your right hand down to the floor, either straight to down dog or vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, join your palms, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, lower your arms down by your sides, stand tall, Tadasana. Now, with your feet and legs all the way together, let's go after Rikshasana, tree pose. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your right knee, turn your right leg out. Lift up through the muscles of your left leg and lengthen through your spine. Lift your right foot up, clasp your ankle, place the sole of your right foot up high on your inner left thigh, and join your palms together at the center of your chest. Bring your attention back to your left foot on the floor. Spread and lengthen your toes. Lift the arches of your foot, and then draw from your foot into your hips and your hips up through the crown of your head. To keep stabilizing your outer left hip, hug in and up. This really helps with balance. Then stretch your arms up over your head. 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, bring your palms down to the center of your chest. Lower your right leg down and lower both arms down by your sides. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your left knee, turn your left leg out. Lift up through the muscles of your right leg and lengthen through your spine. Lift your left foot up. Clasp your ankle. Place the sole of your left foot up high on your inner right thigh and join your palms together at the center of your chest. Again, bring your attention down to your right foot on the floor. Spread and lengthen your toes. Lift the arches of your foot. And draw from your foot into your hips up through the crown of your head. Lengthen. And then for that extra little bit of stability, hug in and up through your outer right hip. Tone your outer hip muscles. And stretch your arms up over your head. Take 2 more breaths here and stay steady. And bring your palms down to the center of your chest. Lower your left leg down And lower both arms down by your sides. And with your feet and legs all the way together here, bend your knees, reach down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and arms up, Utkatasana. Hug your inner thighs in. And shift a little bit more weight back into your heels until you feel your gluteal muscles come online. And then just sit a tiny bit deeper, but try to feel the same muscular engagement, mostly in the glutes, and stretch up through your chest and arms. Bring your torso forward a little bit so you can sit deeper. Right? Notice how you probably still have some engagement in the gluteal muscles, but also it's kind of sharing with muscles on the front of the leg. And bring your belly down to your thighs. Stretch your arms forward. Get your thighs parallel to the floor. Clap your hands together. Interlace your fingers. Release your index fingers. Keep stretching forward and sit deep. Sit as deep as you can. And then either use your hands or not to sit all the way down. All right. Lean back. And bring your shins parallel to the floor. Stretch your arms parallel to your shins. Inhale. Exhale, lower down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, come back up. This time, keep the inner edges of your feet together. Widen your knees apart. Draw your arms inside your inner thighs and hug your knees back. Spread your fingers. Stretch your hands out in the direction that you're facing for a variation of Bakasana in Navasana. Bakasana Navasana. Okay, inhale, Navasana. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, Navasana. Exhale, Bakasana Navasana. Okay, this time you can stay right here. Or you can come into a Vadakanasan position. Listen carefully. What you'll do is clasp the outer edges of your feet, maybe even interlace your fingers. Bring the soles of your feet together and widen your knees further apart. This might be plenty here, or to take it a little bit deeper. Start to bend your elbows and pull your feet towards your chest and hold on to the balance. I know, no easy task. Okay, and then come back into Bakasana Navasana. Stretch your arms forward. Navasana. Exhale, lower down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, Navasana. And one more time, that same thing. Bakasana Navasana, you may stay here. Or clasp the outer edges of your feet. Bring the soles of your feet all the way together. Widen your knees apart. And maybe increase the stretch. Draw your feet toward your chest. Or it's kind of an elevated Vadakanasan, bound angle pose. And then come back into Navasana, Bakasana Navasana. And then Navasana. And sit tall. All right, so now that we have introduced and prepped a little bit of Vadakanasan actions, let's do Vadakanasan. Allow your legs to fall open. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Take your hands to your ankles and slide your heels in close to your hips as far as possible. If it feels like gravity's pulling you back, allow yourself to go with it to get length through your spine. Bring your hands behind you. If you're sitting mostly upright, you can interlace your fingers around your toes, either or. And press your feet in toward one another. Engage your outer hip muscles. And try to, by engaging these muscles and wrapping around and under, try to get your knees down toward the floor. Using powerful external rotators. Namely, gluteus maximus is really working for us here. If you have the clasp on your toes and you're still feeling good here, you might increase the stretch by leaning forward. Try to draw your face down toward the floor beyond your toes. Couple more breaths. And then lift your torso back up. Support the outer edges of your thighs. Bring the soles of your feet together. Then cross your shins. Step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, hug your right knee to your right armpit, curling in forward. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. Exhale, right knee to right nostril. Inhale, lift your right leg all the way back up. Exhale, right knee to upper left arm, come across your body. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. And right knee to right armpit again. Inhale here. Exhale, stay. Good. Inhale, swoop your right leg through and up. Exhale, place your right foot up between your hands. Spin your left heel in and down and rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. Either keep your gaze straight forward or you can draw your gaze up and join your palms. And keep your feet strongly planted on the floor. Lift the arches of your feet, stretch up. Bring your palms to the center of your chest, lift forward. Lay your belly down onto your right thigh. Spin your left heel up. And then come forward and up into Warrior 3. You're going to stretching back through your left heel and forward through the crown of your head. Then bend your right knee a little. Bend your left knee as well. And then bring your left leg and torso upright. So swoop through and up. Hug your left thigh in towards your belly. Straighten your right leg. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your right knee a little bit. Externally rotate your left hip and hook your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Then start to hinge forward from your hips. Place your hands on your left shin. You can stay here, or if you have the capacity, you can bring your fingertips down to the floor. If your blocks are close by, you can even grab blocks and place your hands on blocks to make it a little bit more accessible. Couple more breaths here. Working this figure 4 stretch. Okay. Then bring your palms to the center of your chest. Lift your torso upright. Release the hooking of your ankle and bring your left thigh up in towards your belly. Come back into Warrior 3. Stretch your left leg back. Tilt your torso down until it's parallel to the floor. Balance. Hold. And bend your right knee. Guide the ball of your left foot back down. Inhale, lift your arms and torso up. Crescent Lunge. Exhale, place your hands down onto the floor. Swoop your right leg through and up to 3-legged down dog. Either keep your leg up or lower it down. Shift forward plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hug your left knee to your left armpit, curling. Inhale, lift your left leg all the way back up. Exhale, left knee to left nostril. Inhale, lift your left leg all the way back up. Exhale, left knee to upper right arm. Inhale, lift your left leg all the way back up. One more time, left knee to left armpit. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Swoop your left leg through and up. Exhale, place your left foot up between your hands and come up into Warrior 1. Either keep your gaze forward or draw your gaze up and join your palms. Keep your attention mostly on your foundation, your feet. Lift the arches of your feet, spread and lengthen your toes. Bring your palms to the center of your chest, look forward. Lay your belly down onto your left thigh. Spin your right heel up. Come forward and up into Warrior 3. Stretch back through your right heel and forward through the crown of your head. Take another breath here. Then bend your left knee a little. Bend your right knee deeply and hug your thigh in towards your belly. Then lift your right leg and torso upright. Right through and up. And place your hands on your hips. Bend your left knee a little. Externally rotate your right hip and hook your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Hinge forward from your hips. Bring your hands down to your right shin. And take another breath here. And if you have the capacity, you can bring your fingertips down to the floor. Again, just like I mentioned last time, if you have blocks close by and it would be helpful, grab your blocks. Couple more breaths. And just breathe into the sensations that you're feeling. Bring your palms to the center of your chest. Slowly bring your torso upright again. Unhook your ankle and bring your right thigh in towards your belly. And come back into Warrior 3. Stretch your right leg back. Bring your torso down until it's parallel to the floor. Balance. Breathe. Bend your left knee. Guide the ball of your right foot down. Lift your torso and arms up. Crescent Lunge. Exhale, place your hands down onto the floor. Swoop your left leg through and up to 3-legged down dog. Either keep your leg up or lower it down. Shift forward plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. All right, one more breath here. As you take this breath, I'll tell you what's happening next. We'll come after Vashisthasana again. Any variation is totally fair game. Or you can come into side plank and bring the top leg into tree pose. If you want to do that, I'll talk you through it. Bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Shift forward to plank, or just almost to plank, so that your arms are slightly sloping back. Spin to the outer edge of your right foot, stack your left foot on top. Press down and forward with your right hand, stretch your left arm up. Any variation is fair game. If you're coming along with me, lift your left foot off your right. Bend your left knee and point it up toward the ceiling. Reach down with your left hand, clasp your ankle, and place the sole of your left foot up high in your inner right thigh. Keep your right arm strong, stretch your left arm up. Slide both shoulder blades down your back. If you'll feel really steady, look up. One more breath. And then stack up again. Bring your left hand down, either straight to down dog or vinyasa, the downward facing dog. And we have one more. Bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Look up toward your hands, shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists. Spin to the outer edge of your left foot, stack your right foot on top. Press down and forward with your left hand, stretch your right arm up. And any variation is fair game. If you're coming along with me, lift your right foot off your left. Bend your right knee, point it up toward the ceiling. Reach down, clasp your right ankle, and place the sole of your right foot up high in your inner left thigh. Stretch your right arm back up. If you feel really steady, even look up. And stack it up again. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Either straight to down dog or vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, come up, Utkatasana. And exhale, stand, lower your arms all the way down by your sides. Okay, next piece here. With your feet and legs all the way together, bring them together to touch. This time, you can come into one of two forms of tree pose. The first one we've already done, it's this. The second one, you'll bring both hands to your ankle, bring your heel up towards your belly button, rotate your knee down to bring one leg into what's called half lotus position. The main thing you want to be focusing on is you don't want torque on your knee. All right, I'll talk you through it. Bring your feet and legs together, place your hands on your hips, bend your right knee, turn your right leg out. Lift up through the muscles of your left leg. Lift your right foot up. Clasp your ankle with your right hand and come to the first form of tree pose, or now bring your left hand to your ankle as well. Draw your heel towards your belly button and rotate your right knee down. Keep the clasp with your left hand to start. Bring your right hand to the center of your chest. Press the outer edge of your right foot strongly into your inner left thigh. If it'll stay on its own, bring your palms together. So one of those two forms of tree pose with palms at the center of your chest. Take a couple more breaths. Okay, and then slowly guide your right foot all the way back down. Stand tall. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your left knee, turn your left leg out. Lift up through the muscles of your right leg and lengthen through your spine. Lift your left foot up and clasp your ankle with your left hand if you're coming to the first version, or if you're coming to the second version, reach down with your right hand as well. Draw your heel up towards your belly button. Rotate your left knee down. And then bring your left hand to the center of your chest. Press the outer edge of your left foot strongly into your inner right thigh. If your leg will stay on its own, bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Couple more breaths here. Okay, and then slowly guide your left foot all the way back down. Root down through both feet strongly. Lift up through the muscles of your legs. Ah, fantastic. Okay, now from the top of your mat, inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, reach down toward the floor. And Then walk your fingertips forward. We're just going to do a little experiment this time. And then lift your heels, lower your hips down all the way towards your heels. Walk your fingertips back by the sides of your hips and bring your torso more upright. Bring your left hand to the center of your chest, and then lower your left fingertips back down. Lift your right hand up toward the center of your chest, and lower your fingertips of your right hand back down. Lift your left hand, maybe try to lift your right hand as well in balance. Press down with the balls of your feet, almost as though you're trying to lift your hips off your heels. And find your balance here. We'll add on to this in a moment. But for now, toe stand with both feet on the floor. Okay, good. Then bring your fingertips just in front of your knees again. Bring your heels down to the floor. Keep your knees bent and come back up into Utkatasana. Shift your weight back into your heels. Get your gluteal muscles to fire. So a little bit deeper and still same muscular structures we're targeting. Bring your torso forward a little bit. And bring your belly down to your thighs. Stretch your arms forward. Clap your hands together. And release your fingers, release your index fingers. Stretch forward, sit deep, stretch forward, sit deep, stretch forward, sit deep. Either use your hands or not to sit all the way down. Yay. Lean back, bring your shins parallel to the floor and stretch your arms parallel to your shins. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, come back up. Then come into Bakasana Navasana like we did previously. Hug your knees back toward your armpits. Stretch your hands forward. Then clasp your big toes with index, middle finger, and thumb. Keeping the balance on your coccyx, stretch your legs out into a V just as much as you can. They don't have to get all the way straight. All right, our aim is to find balance and a little bit of stretch. Good. Then bring your feet back together. Come into Bakasana Navasana and Navasana. Lower down halfway. Ardha Navasana. Inhale, Navasana. Bakasana Navasana. Clasp your big toes. And start by bringing your legs out into a V again. There we go. You might stay right here. Or if this is pretty simple, you want to increase the challenge, start to bring your legs closer to one another. Maybe even all the way together. And look up beyond your toes. And then bring your legs apart into a V if you did that. Bend your knees, bring the inner edges of your feet back together. And come into Navasana. Cross your shins. Step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, hug your right knee to your right armpit, curl in. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. Exhale, right knee to right nostril. Inhale, lift your right leg all the way back up. Right knee to upper left arm. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. One more time, right knee to right armpit. Inhale here. And exhale, stay. Inhale, sweep your right leg through and up. Exhale, place your right foot up between your hands and come up into warrior two. Turn open to your left. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. There we are. Inhale deeply. Exhale, reverse warrior. Stretch from your right hip all the way out to your fingertips and take another breath. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Either forearm to thigh, fingertips to the floor, hand down to a block. Stretch your left arm close to your face and peek up. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Straighten your right leg and come into triangle pose. Tip your torso to your right, either hand to shin, fingertips to the floor, hand down to a block. And keep on engaging the muscles of your legs. Turn your chest up, look up. Look down towards your right foot, bend your right knee. Come forward and up into half moon pose. Draw from your right foot up into your right hip, strengthen your leg. Stretch your left heel back and the crown of your head forward. Maybe even draw your gaze up. And slowly bring your left fingertips down to the floor. Square your hips toward the floor. Come into standing split. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, walk your hands back and fold your face in. Walk your hands forward. Either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple little hops up toward handstand. On your way back through Vinyasa. Up to you. Yogi's choice. Good.
All right, all, and we'll meet in downward facing dog, so begin to make your way there if you haven't already. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hug your left knee to your left armpit. Inhale, lift your left leg back up. Exhale, left knee to left nostril. Inhale, lift your left leg back up. Exhale, left knee to upper right arm. Inhale, lift your left leg back up. And left knee to left armpit one more time. Inhale, stay. Exhale, stay. Good, swoop your left leg through and up. Exhale, place your left foot up between your hands and come up into warrior two. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. Inhale deeply here. Exhale, reverse warrior. Stretch from your left hip out to your fingertips. Take a breath. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Either forearm to thigh, fingertips to the floor, hand down to a block. Stretch your right arm close to your face and peek up. And come back up into warrior two. Straighten your left leg and come into triangle pose. Keep your torso to your left. Either hand to shin, fingertips to the floor, hand down to a block. Keep your legs really strong and peek up. Look down towards your left foot. Bend your left knee. Come forward and up into half moon pose. Strengthen your left leg. Stretch back through your right heel, forward through the crown of your head. And then peek up. Look up. Yay. Bring your right fingertips down to the floor. Square your hips toward the floor. And come into standing split. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, walk your hands back, fold your face in, stretch your right heel higher. Walk your hands back forward. Either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple little hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. Up to you. There we go. Okay. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Let's meet up there. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, join your palms, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, lower your arms down by your sides and stand tall. Okay, two last little things involving this hip opening project. So, one we already alluded to. This next thing is called Tosan. You don't find it in many styles of yoga. So I've encountered it in Bikram yoga. Two options. Option one, we've already come into this figure four shape. You can approach it from here. Option two, you can bring your leg into half lotus and approach it from here. I'll show it from here. So you'll fold forward, bring your fingertips down to the floor. Bend the bottom knee and bring your hips down towards your heel. You'll walk your hands back by the sides of your hips. And just like we did with balls of both feet on the floor, makes it more complicated, but we'll bring one hand up at a time and try to find balance. One more thing to mention is that blocks underneath your hands for this whole thing might be really helpful, and I'll show you how to set that up. All right, let's do it together. So if you're using blocks, place them just off the top edge of your mat, about shoulder width distance apart. Everyone stand tall, bring your feet and legs together. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your knees a couple inches. And then either come into that figure four shape, hooking your ankle across your thigh just above your knee, or you can bring it up higher into half lotus position. Either way is totally fine. Then hinge forward from your hips. Bring your hands down to blocks or down to the floor. And for this first side, I'll show with blocks. Okay. Lift your left heel away from the floor, lower your hips down to your left heel. And walk your hands back by the sides of your hips. Lift your torso up. Press down through the ball of your foot, almost as though you're trying to lift your hips off of your left heel. And bring your left hand to the center of your chest and lower it back down. And bring your right hand to the center of your chest and lower it back down. Bring your left hand to the center of your chest. And then maybe try to join your palms together for a couple breaths. Oh my. Don't be surprised if you fall on your butt. It's okay. Bring your hands back down. If you have fallen down, undo your legs then and stand up. If you're still in the position, walk your hands forward and come all the way back up the same way that you came in. Okay. Bring both feet to the floor, straighten and strengthen your legs, and bend your knees a couple inches. Either hook your left ankle just above your knee in figure 4 shape, or bring it up high or bring it into a half lotus position. And hinge forward, bring your hands down to blocks or to the floor. Lift your right heel or your hips all the way down. Okay, now this time I'll show without blocks. Walk your hands back by the sides of your hips. It's likely that be on fingertips if your hands are on the floor. And start by bringing your right hand to the center of your chest this time. And lower back down. Bring your left hand to the center of your chest. And lower back down. Then bring your right hand to the center. Then maybe your left hand to meet your right. Couple more breaths here. It's not easy. Okay, and bring your hands forward, come forward and up. Again, if you fell down, no big, that's totally normal. Just undo your legs and then stand up. And stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head, reach up. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, curl your chest up, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, Adho Mukha. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lower your knees down to the floor. Sit back on your heels, sit up. Okay, last project is called Kashyapasana. For Kashyapasana, you'll bring the top leg in Vashisthasana into the half lotus position. So any variation we've gone after in Vashisthasana is fair game. If you are coming after this one, what you'll do is bend your knee up toward the ceiling, take your hand to clasp the top of your foot, guide your leg into half lotus, and stretch your arm back up. You might even add a bind behind your back. Reach your arm behind your back. It's like the aim is eventually to clasp onto your toes. Don't worry if it doesn't happen today. Guess what? Not happening for me. And then we'll do the second side. Let's do it together. Come into downward facing dog. Home stretch. Bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists. Spin to the outer edge of your right foot, stack your left foot on top. Press down and forward with your right hand, stretch your left arm up. Okay, any variations, fair game. If you're coming along with me, lift your left foot off your right, bend your left knee up toward the ceiling, reach with your left hand, clasp the top of your foot, and guide your left leg into half lotus position. And stretch your left arm back up. And either stay here with arm stretching up or wrap your left arm behind your back. Try to imagine that someday you can reach your toes. And stretch your left arm back up. Stack your legs. Bring your left hand down to the floor and come into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And bring your feet and legs all the way together to touch. Shift forward until your shoulders are just behind your wrists. Spin to the outer edge of your left foot, stack your right foot on top. Press down and forward with your left hand and stretch your right arm up. Good. And if you're coming along with me, lift your right foot off your left, bend your right knee up toward the ceiling, reach down and clasp the top of your foot, and guide your right leg into half lotus position. Stretch your right arm back up. And you might even wrap your right arm behind your back, reaching, crawling towards your toes as far as you can. Then stretch your right arm back up. Stack your legs up. Bring your right hand down. And either Vinyasa or straight to down dog this time. Last opportunity for Vinyasa. Inhale deeply. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward and through to sit down. And lie down. Take a deep breath. And per usual, we'll do 2 back bends. First one, let's all do bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana together. Second one, you may come up further into Urdhva Dhanurasana. And press your palms down into the floor, your arms down into the floor. If Peel your buttocks off the floor, low back, middle back, upper back. Pressing down through your arms, your hands. You may stay here with your arms apart or interlace your fingers underneath your back. Gently rock from side to side, tuck your shoulders underneath your back, and curl more. One more inhale. On your exhale, bring your arms by your sides and lower your hips all the way down. Rest for a moment. Okay, you can do that one more time. Or this time, I'll talk you through how to come up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Start by placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Peel your buttocks off the floor, low back, middle back, upper back. And press down through feet and hands. Come up to the crown of your head. Plug your arm bones in, lift your shoulder blades up your back. Press down through feet and hands again as you come up. Keep your legs strong here. It takes some of the pressure, some of the weight off of your arms. And breathe. One more inhale. And then exhale, make your way all the way down with control. Stretch your arms out by your sides. We made it. Stretch your arms out to your sides. You have the room, stretch them all the way out, or you can come into a cactus position. Bring your shins parallel to the floor and draw your legs down to your right. Twist your chest to your left. Look over your left arm. Inhale, come back up to center. Draw your legs down to your left. Twist your chest to your right. Look over your right arm. And bring your legs back to center. Bring your thighs into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shin. So you're giving yourself a big hug. You may stay here or come into happy baby for a couple more breaths. Okay, good. And then slowly make your way out of the shape that you're in and into a comfortable position for Shavasana. Extend all limbs out fully, both arms, both legs. Arrange your body so it's really comfortable. Then allow yourself to sink down in for a little while in Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath and start to feel awareness come back into your body little by little. As you're ready, bend one knee at a time and carefully roll to your right side. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And join your palms together at the center of your chest. And to end our practice today, let's join one another for one last triumphant Om. Inhale deeply. Exhale, empty out completely. And inhale for Om. Thank you all so very much for the gift of your company today. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. So wonderful to be here with you as always. What a fun practice, and what a great way to wake up in the morning. So thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing with me. Your presence was definitely felt. We'll be back next week at the same time at 9 a.m. So come back and see me again. And also, if you're not connected with me via my email list, you can sign up for it on my website, NicholeChaseYoga.com. All right, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day and wonderful weekend. I'll see you on the mat again soon. All right, love ya. Bye.